They're in Auschwitz. The train was never routed here. A paperwork mistake.
Wait, what? How did the just... I don't even want to see this. Welcome back, super friends and super family. I am Thor, your friendly neighborhood god of thunder, and today I'm reacting to Schindler's List. So obviously a very classic and very serious movie dealing with some very serious subject matter. I'm not super familiar with the details of the plot. From what I understand, the movie is about the Holocaust, and I believe that Schindler is a German sympathizer who ended up helping some Jews survive. That's what I believe, but I'm not even entirely sure. Obviously, you know, not a lighthearted or fun type of movie, but something that I have heard is cinematically just so powerful. And of course, the subject material and the history that is being covered is so important. Definitely something I wanted to check out. And this is one of those movies where anyone who wants to share their thoughts about the filmmaking, about the real events, about the history, all of that is truly appreciated. I do think that this movie was groundbreaking. I know that this movie was very personal to Steven Spielberg to make. So if you have any if you're aware of any of the background or behind the scenes about the film, but then of course the history and the real life events, the people involved, I'd love to be, you know, just educated, learn a little bit more while watching this film. If you do want to watch along with the full movie with me, that's going to be up on Patreon right now. And next week I'm going to be reacting to Jojo Rabbit. So that reaction is also up on Patreon. Yeah, let's get into the movie. Schindler's List. Dang, what a transition to black and white. That many people every day? Well, someone with a lot of nice clothes, whoever this is. Someone who's well off, probably high up in some type of position. Well, there you go. The most important piece of the uniform. So he's bribing people, I'm assuming?
Bring them over a round of drinks. You can say they are from me.
And he's like, you already know who I am. I feel like he's not just here for the party. It seems like he's on a mission, or maybe here to speak to this guy about something.
Find out who he is.
Yes, sir.
No, they don't know who he is. Okay. Now he has to go over to figure out who this guy is. I think that's what he wanted all along. He wanted to speak to this guy.
It's as if they have no idea what kind of law it is. As if it's the emblem of a riding club.
I mean, clearly just like a Nazi party full of all these greedy, probably a collection of the worst people.
Who is that man?
That's Oscar Schindler.
Oh, come on. Yeah, good luck getting anything here. There's too many people, there's too many things going on.
What if I just took this thing off? What are they gonna do about it?
They will shoot you.
Itzhak Stern. I'm looking for Itzhak Stern.
Dang, everyone just gets completely silent.
Are you Itzhak Stern or not?
I am.
Where can we talk?
This guy might be in serious trouble. I mean, I thought that Schindler was a sympathizer, like, helped people out.
Jews can no longer own businesses. That's why this one's in receivership.
But they wouldn't own it. I'd own it. I'd pay them back in product.
I don't know if this is a good deal. The way he's looking at him, I don't know if he has a choice. He might be forced into this business deal.
I'm sure I don't know anybody who'll be interested in this.
Tell them they should be.
Yeah, this seems like a very threatening type of situation.
Because of the freezing cold, it broke. All 10,000 units.
It's not my problem.
It sounds like a pretty big problem.
Do you know where I can find a nice shirt like that?
I do not know what Schindler is up to here.
It's illegal to buy or sell anything on the street.
How many?
But if he's not supposed to be doing business, why would you trust him? He's a Nazi. And maybe he's desperate to do business, but I think his friends are right to be cautious. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You can just see the fear and confusion on everyone's faces, you know, being driven with no free will at all into this horrible situation. And like as they're being forced out of their homes, they just have people standing there staring them down. And just like that, you're out on the street. And, you know, those are German children who have just been brainwashed. He just stole his family's home, and he's just enjoying the bed.
Good enough.
Look where you're living. Look where you've been put.
Money, still money.
No, it is not.
Yeah, see, they really don't have a choice here.
You want a contract? To be upheld by what court? I said what I'll do. That's our contract.
That's horrible business. You can't trust him, but I don't think they have much of a choice in the circumstances they're at. Yeah, no, he knows what he's doing. He doesn't want to take anything from him.
Owned by Germans, but it's outside the ghetto, so you can barter for extra goods.
But they're not going to get paid.
I teach history and literature. Since when it's not the same shit.
Not with the Nazis. That's not.
This is not right. Very good. He's 53 years old. It's too new.
Dang, so he's helping people out, right? Like getting them papers?
Your work certificate you keep in your pocket at all times. I told you.
Oh, come on.
Take the wrong shit. You'll get electrocuted. Here, have a try. But be very careful unless you want your fingers to become...
Yeah, this does not seem like a job you want to just go into without a lot of training, and these people are forced to.
Skilled metal worker. He can make tin pots, he can make tanks, he can make whatever Mr. Schindler asks. He's highly skilled.
Yeah, you do want to be an essential worker, for sure.
Carefully place it aside to drip dry.
Dang, with their kid.
Allow me just to represent you and speak for you. Don't say a word.
I mean, this guy is seriously helping all these people out.
The secretary, pick one.
I don't know how. They're all so qualified.
Big smile. Big smile.
And the way I took that scene is it looked like Schindler was like just taking advantage of it just to get access to a bunch of women, right? Yeah, see, look, these people, like, this is not an easy work. This is something you need people who are trained to do.
Three things in life: a good doctor, a forgiving priest, and a clever accountant. The first two, I've never had much use for. But the third...
Yeah, he's after the money. That's what his real priority is.
Pretend, for Christ's sake.
Is that all?
Yeah, he doesn't want to drink with you.
Saying I couldn't have done this without you. The usual thing would be to acknowledge my gratitude. It would also, by the way, be the courteous thing.
Yeah, just because you've put him in a difficult situation and he has no choice but to do business with you doesn't mean he doesn't see what kind of a person you are.
You've done well here.
You look wonderful.
Brother step, miss.
Mrs. Schindler married.
Okay, yeah. So he's just been using his power to force all these Jewish women to sleep with him, right? And now this is his real wife.
Don't forget the name Schindler here. I can tell you that. Everybody remembers him. He did something extraordinary.
What, made a bunch of money?
You can't create this thing. And it makes all the difference in the world between success and failure.
But how do you define your success or failure? I mean, that is a reality of sorts, right? That war does help, you know, greedy businessmen.
Promise me, Oscar. No doorman or maitre d' will ever presume I'm anyone other than Mrs. Schindler. And I'll stay.
When she knows what he's doing, she knows like his type of lifestyle and the kind of man he is. But I'm assuming she doesn't have the choice to be able to leave him.
Doing well.
Yes.
Better this month than last?
Yes.
Any reason to think next month will be worse?
The war could end.
And Schindler's like, no, hopefully the war continues.
You're a good man. He saved my life.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he just wanted to make money. He didn't save your life. I think Schindler is bothered. Like, I think that awakened his conscience to a degree. I don't know. That's the way I interpret it, like seeing Liam Neeson's face when he just sat by himself for a minute. Oh, this can't be good.
National priority that Jews be made to shovel snow. It's got nothing to do with reality, Oscar.
They just show up and force them to do this.
Come with me.
I am an essential
Oh,
worker.
come on. Oh, come on.
Danke, look at the snow. Look at the snow. Look at the snow.
Shh.
lost a worker. I expect to be compensated.
How can the soldiers just shoot someone like that without any...
A place in Reich economics was a treasonable idea.
The list is correct, sir. There's nothing I can do.
What is your name? I think I can guarantee you'll both be in southern Russia before the end of the month. Good day. Stern! Stern! Stern!
And that's smart. At least he knows, like, how to scare the other Germans.
Stern!
Sir,
There he is. There he is. Yell out.
my apologies.
Stop the train!
I apologize.
He's here! Stop the train!
Can they stop it? Okay, good. I don't know, like, who has the top authority here. How much Schindler can actually get done.
I somehow left my work card at home. I tried to explain them.
Oh, don't leave your card at home.
What if I got here 5 minutes later? Then where would I be?
Oh, come on. I mean, of course they don't. None of these people are getting their stuff back. And of course they're not going to say, you know, we're going to steal all your stuff and kill you. They're like, oh, you'll get it back, don't worry. And the people going along with it, like, these are...
The restrictions to my life I'm tired of.
Those walls keep them out. That's all I care about.
How long will it keep them out, though?
There's nowhere down from here. This is it. This is the bottom.
The ghetto is liberty.
Yeah, no one is in a good situation. It's like, are you killed or are you living in a miserable, unfair situation?
One of you is a very lucky girl.
Oh, what is he doing?
The entire foundation has to be torn down and repoured.
They're gonna kill her. They're not gonna want to redo the foundation.
Shoot her.
How can you do that?
She's foreman of construction.
We're not going to have arguments with these people.
What do you want her to do? Just let it be done badly?
Here, on my authority.
It will take more than that.
I'm sure you're right. Down, repour it, rebuild it, like she said.
But so if you're doing what she said, why would you kill her?
For 6 centuries, there has been a Jewish cracker. By this evening, those 6 centuries are a rumor. They never happened.
I don't know. That's something I don't know if Ralph Fiennes, like, is he playing a real figure in history? Obviously, there were Nazis in charge who did things like him, but I don't know if he's directly inspired by a real life figure. Yeah, there's no safety for any of these families. Yeah, what a terrifying sound to hear. Hurry, don't get caught doing this. Oh my gosh. What the heck did he do?
We're getting out through the sewers. I have to check if they're clear.
I can't go in the sewers. I told you I won't go in the sewers.
You have to get out of there. Oh, come on. Where's your paper? No, 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 no. They're just murdering people randomly. They're just... Is that for people to commit suicide? I mean, that I can see that as like a mercy to these poor people. Do they even know that that's going to kill them? I think they do. They're going to kill them too.
Good as that. Leave her. Give me a moment. Just let you drink her inside. Join the line.
How could people do this? Oh, great.
Mila!
She's gone. They got her. You guys you're gonna get killed. But I mean, what do you do?
Space in there. Now look at me. You are just scared. I can fit the girl, but not you.
Come on, how can you say no to her? You're dead. You're dead.
Herr Kommandant! Very good saluting. Finish and join the lines, little Polish clicking soldier.
So, you know, seeing him in an act of pure desperation to survive, that they just laugh. That's amusing to them. Oh, come on. What are you doing?
It's hard, please. I've searched the building. There's no one here.
He is lucky they didn't walk further. Shh, don't make any noise. Don't make any noise.
Hello, Adam. Hello, Danka. Come with me. I will put you in the good line.
Oh my gosh. Someone grab that little girl, please. Come on, Schindler. Can't you go down there and, like, help her? Oh my gosh. Oh. I mean, that whole sequence is just devastating to watch. And it doesn't even feel like I'm watching a movie. The way the Spielberg has made it, it feels so unbelievably raw and like you're witnessing these events along with Schindler. People are hiding, and how do you even stay in those spaces for that long? I mean, you have no other choice, otherwise you're dead, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, quiet. I mean, these aren't piles of enemies dead piled up in like a horrible war. These are piles of families. You're not killing people, you're slaughtering them. Yeah, your business is gone because everyone was killed. And that's what makes no sense. Like, they were taking advantage of them before, you know, forcing them to work, forcing them to make profits for them, and now they're just killing them.
The worst is over. We are workers now.
No, the worst is not over. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing with it? You just wake up and decide you want to kill someone for sport? You just want to kill a few innocent people along with your morning cigarette and coffee?
They're not gone. They're here.
They're mine! Every day that goes by, I'm losing money. Every worker that is shot costs me money. I have to find somebody else. I have to train them.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like so unbelievably cruel. Like they're already forcing them into labor. Like
3 cubic meters of airspace per prison. I'm telling you, you want to shoot somebody. I've been through it. You know, I know.
Yeah, you've been shooting people.
You could make things easier for me. I'd be grateful.
I can't tell if at this point, like, Schindler has sympathy for what's happening to all the Jewish people. I think he definitely seems conflicted.
He wants his independence. I gave it to him. But independence costs money. Don't forget who you are working for now.
It's I mean, the contrast of lives is just insane. It's wartime, but here are these people just lavishing in every type of indulgence while slaughtering and enslaving.
These in your pocket. Come on.
Herr Director, don't let things fall apart. I work too hard.
Yeah, and his life depends on it. Like, this is business for Schindler. This is the only way for these workers to survive. Great. How many people are you gonna kill today showing up? Like, this guy is, what is he, just like sadistic, enjoy murder and cruelty? He's not even after any type of success or a ruthless war effort.
Make me a hinge.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh. Please do it fast. The pressure to do this, you're literally doing that for your life.
You've been working since, I think, what, about 6 this morning. Yet, such a small pile of hinges.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Christ.
Man, try that, sir. Check the angle there, but
Oh my gosh.
Herr Commandant, I beg to report that my heap of hinges was so unsatisfactory. Being recalibrated this morning to shoveling coal.
How the...
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Nobody knows who stole the chicken. Hmm?
tell him
A
about the
man
chicken.
walks around with a chicken and nobody notices.
How did...
Still, nobody knows.
Oh no.
You committed this crime.
No, sir.
But you know who, though?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
They say your factory is a haven. They say you are good.
Who says that?
I can't tell, like, how much he's doing for good with a good motivation and how much he just wants to make a profit.
I'm begging you. Please. Please bring them here.
People die. It's a fact of life. He wants to kill everybody. Great. What am I supposed to do about it? It's not a factory. It's not an enterprise of any kind. It's a haven.
Are you losing money?
No, I'm not losing money. That's not the point.
That's not the point.
Then...
It's dangerous. Gert is under enormous pressure. In normal circumstances, he wouldn't be like this. He'd be all right.
Really, you're excusing his behavior.
Somebody escaped from a work detail outside the wire. Gert lined up everybody from the missing command's barracks.
Oh my...
He walked down the line shooting every other man with a pistol.
Have Goldberg bring them over.
So he bribed him, right? To get them, to take them apart and to bring them over to the factory. I mean, it worked. You just saved their lives.
He beat me because I threw out the bones from dinner. I said to him, "Why are you beating me?" He said, "The reason I beat you now is because you ask why I beat you." Shot a woman who was passing by. She was no fatter or thinner or slower or faster than anyone else, and I couldn't guess what had she done.
She didn't do anything. He just murders people. He enjoys killing.
Of the Herr Commandant, the more you see, there is no set rules that you can live by.
Yeah, there is no safety. She is 100% right. Can't this guy just fall off the balcony when he's drunk?
Power is when we have every justification to kill. And we don't.
I mean, I do think he's doing his best to try to persuade him to show some mercy by manipulating him, like framing it like if you're truly powerful, you won't slaughter.
That is power.
I don't think it's going to work, though. Can you imagine that's the only way you can see your family? Get away from the fence with this guy coming around. He's just going to start shooting people.
Throw Smokey on the job. Tell her not to do it again.
Did Schindler's talk get to him? Like, is he feel more powerful sparing them? Hopefully that worked.
I have to report, sir. I've been unable to remove the stains from the bathtub.
No, don't report that. Come on. Don't do anything to her.
You really are a wonderful cook and a well-trained servant.
Then don't kill her.
You can answer, but what's the right answer? That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. What? Of course. What do you think? You have people living in constant fear of getting killed.
The truth, Helen, is always the right answer.
No, it's not.
I would like so much to reach out and touch you in your loneliness. And I realize that you're not a person in the strictest sense of the word.
How can he say that? Like you're not even a real person. Please don't do anything.
You're a Jewish bitch. You nearly talked me into it.
Come on. Come on, don't be too obvious in front of the other Nazis. They're gonna suspect something.
We're their workforce. What sense does it make to kill your own workforce?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what's unbelievable.
We are very, very important for them.
Yeah, me too now. Good night.
Good night.
How do you live in these conditions? What, you're playing music? What is she doing? Oh my gosh. Holy shit. With their own blood?
Look alive, Rebecca.
Yeah, and you guys are just laughing, hanging out another day at work while this is happening. I mean, they're treating them worse than animals. They're looking at them like they're not even like they're objects, like they're not even living. The way that the Germans are just interacting with them.
Separate the sick from the healthy, those who can work and those who can't. She can work. You can work. You can come.
That's how close she came, and that's how casual he is with whether she lives or dies. Are they sending all the kids to die? Yeah, they know. They know they're all being sent off to die.
I can see him. They're hiding. I'm telling you, they're hiding.
Where? Where would you even hide? Oh, come on. How can they just sit there watching, like, just having lunch, drinking?
You say we get your fire hoses out here and hose down the cars.
Bring the fire hoses. Where's the fire?
That is smart. That's what you have to do. He can't be obvious that he's trying to help them.
That's cruel!
Come on. Try and reach the far end. The car.
He needs to be careful, though. They're going to be able to tell that he actually cares.
This car!
He can tell.
I'm not saying you'll regret it, but you might. You should be aware of that.
We will have to risk regret.
Yeah, they're getting him in trouble. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Of course, you'll have to hire new workers. Poles, I guess, they cost a little more, but... What are you going to do?
What can he do?
I was going to say we'll have a drink then.
I think I better have it now.
I do think that's significant that he's willing to have a drink with him now. I mean, not only is he at a point where he's realizing there's no hope, but I think he realizes that, you know, Schindler actually does care beyond where he was at the beginning of the movie.
You want these people?
These people. My people. I want my people.
Who are you, Moses?
What's a person worth?
No. What's one worth to you?
All those conversations are so tense because he clearly can't show what his actual motives are.
How many?
400.
How many can he get without getting caught?
Jakob Nacha. Yes, Necha.
I don't even, like, how do they choose whose names they put on? Who they decide to keep to spare their lives?
I don't know.
Come on, Julius. I know about the extra food and clothes you give them, paid for out of your own pocket. If we make a combined approach, we could get more than 4,000 of them.
Okay, so he's another person who's trying to help out.
I've done all I can. I will not accept that. No, Oscar, I can't do any more. I will not accept that.
Come on. I mean, he just doesn't want to take the risk.
Clerical error here, at the bottom of the last page.
No, there's one more name I want to put there. I'll never find a maid as well trained as her at Brillet.
Oh, come on. Is he really going to let her go, though?
Wouldn't be right.
She's just going to Auschwitz #2 anyway. What difference does it make?
She's not going to Auschwitz. I'd never do that to her.
Yes, you would. You beat her.
Next most merciful thing. We shall take her into the woods and shoot her painlessly in the back of the head.
Yeah, because you just don't want anyone else to have her. You don't want her to be free. You'd rather kill her yourself.
I don't like.
No, you don't. What do you like?
I like caviar.
They're in Auschwitz. The train was never routed here. A paperwork mistake.
Wait, what? How did the just... I don't even want to see this.
We work for Oskar Schindler. We're Schindler Jews.
Who is Oskar Schindler?
Who messed up the paperwork? Come on, take it.
Feel arrested.
I'm protected by powerful friends. You should know that.
Take the bribe, come on.
All I say is I'm not comfortable with them on the table.
Thank goodness he knows how to, like, do this. Like, he's good at playing people. Oh, come on. What are you guys doing? Why is he taking the kids?
What are you doing? These are mine. These are my workers. They should be on my train. Their fingers polish the insides of shell metal casings. How else am I to polish the inside of a 45mm shell case?
Come on, come on.
Back on the train! If you shoot without thinking, you go to prison, I get paid.
Good.
For your cooperation, you have my gratitude. Come on, go.
Thank goodness he's smart, you know, he knows how to work this.
No doorman or maitre d' will ever mistake you again. I promise. Stan, if this factory ever produces a shell that can actually be fired, I'll be very unhappy.
Wow. Good for him. So not only is he saving these people, but he's not even contributing to the war effort by making good quality things. I mean, that, talk about making a difference and doing some real good.
Do you have any money hidden away someplace that I don't know about?
Oh, don't tell me they're going to go out of business. Come on.
Signed the act of unconditional surrender of all German land, sea, and air forces.
So now what's going to happen, though?
Tomorrow, you'll begin the process of looking for survivors of your families. Dispose of the population of this camp. Now would be the time to do it.
None of them better stay.
It'll be done, everything you ask.
Yeah, I mean, of course, he saved their lives.
It's Hebrew from the Talmud. It says, whoever saves one life saves the world entire.
Could have got more. I could have got more. I just...
No, you...
There are 1,100 people who are alive because of you. Look at them.
If I'd made more money.
No, you did, you risked so much, you gave up so much.
This is gold. Two more people. You would have given me two for it.
You can't, look, you changed so much, you can't feel guilt.
Could have got one more person. And I didn't.
I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Don't go east, that's for sure. They hate you there. I wouldn't go west either.
So what do they do? Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I mean, so that was a real person. I mean, what a legacy, what a thing to have done with his life. Wow. All right, so that is Schindler's List. Yeah. It's sorry, it's just kind of hard, like, where to begin. Obviously, kind of like how I said at the beginning, a movie that's dealing with real life events and heavy subject matter, and an unbelievable tragedy that was not that long ago. Yeah, I'm just gonna do my best to capture this. Like I said, I feel like this is definitely an example of a movie that there's so much to touch on, there's so much to think about, and I don't know. Sorry, I'm a bit at a loss for words just having watched this movie. It's a little bit fresh. I'm going to do my best here just to say my thoughts. And like I said, I do think this is definitely a film that I would love to hear more about. Just people let me know about the history, about the filmmaking, about the events that took place. Yeah, I think that Spielberg did an unbelievably good job at just demonstrating and capturing the tragedy. I mean, I think my favorite Spielberg movie that I've seen was Saving Private Ryan. And this felt like a movie like that, more somber and more depressing than that. And that's definitely, anyone who's seen that movie, it's definitely not a feel-good movie. What I like about Saving Private Ryan is it just feels like such a raw portrayal of war and the horror of death. And I think this movie did it, except unlike that movie, we're not dealing with soldiers. We're dealing with families and children and women. And Spielberg, with his directing, like, I don't know, this is just one of those movies similar to Saving Private Ryan where it didn't feel like I was watching a movie. And every once in a while I'd just be thinking in my head, like, oh, these are actors, these are extras. This is not something you're witnessing. But because it's an illustration and a visceral experience of real life events, and the filmmaking is so good, you're really just lost in that experience and feeling it. But that's really a testament to how well this movie is made. The music is incredible, all the performances across the board. Liam Neeson, I knew he was in this. I didn't realize that Ralph Fiennes was in this, playing such a horrible, disgusting villain. Ben Kingsley, I didn't realize he was in this, but they felt so real and really helped you lose yourself in the story. And the soundtrack, wow. I mean, truly some music that is so poignant and something very haunting in its sadness. Yeah, yeah. But I think something that the film did that was so, the brutality of the violence was one thing, and there were so many moments of just shocking slaughter and murder that took place, and it didn't feel over dramatized. It felt empty and raw and meaningless, which made it all the more upsetting to watch. There are so many uncomfortable, unpleasant moments, and the power of those emotions really were captured by the way this movie was filmed. And something that was just continuously disturbing. I mean, obviously it was captured the most by Ralph Fiennes and his character, who was a real person, as I found out at the end, right? But the degree of just callousness and complete detachment from the suffering on these people. I mean, there are so many shots in this film of like crowds and on the faces of these people who are afraid, who are terrified, who are just so unbelievably desperate, trying to survive, confused, like all these emotions. And there would just be shots on crowds and like characters who were not following directly like key main characters necessarily, but just seeing those pictures, you see the humanity. Like my heart goes out to them. Like I can connect to those emotions. And then you see the Nazis and the soldiers just treating them like I think I mentioned at one point during the movie, like they're less than, not even like animals, like they're something completely alien to the species. Like they're these things that don't feel or don't experience reality the way that everyone does. And I think, of course, that's true to how things happened. And it does, I don't know, it makes me think, like, how is that even possible? And I think that was a question that people thought after the Holocaust, like, how can human beings do this to other people? But of course, it happened. Like, people can. And I think it's much easier to do horrible things like this than people realize. I think a lot of it is just not doing something different. I don't know. I think that to me, like, it was so powerful to see the arc of Schindler, like going from this guy who was taking advantage of the situation just for profit, taking advantage of women, taking advantage of these people who are in this horrible situation just to make a profit, and seeing how witnessing the devastation and the slaughter of the Jews, the pointlessness, the cruelty, he ended up completely turning around in just an incredible arc. He went from this horrible person to this hero, saving lives, giving up everything. And at the end, feeling guilty, like he didn't even do enough. Sorry, I feel like I'm a bit all over the place. Like I said, this movie it has a lot of emotions and is very, very heavy. But I don't know, I just really like how Spielberg focused on like that callousness of the cruelty. And I think like that scene at the end where all the soldiers left the factory and there was that one guy who kind of lingered, that one German, almost like he was considering, like, should I do something? Should I do some type of violence? I think that kind of captured a truth. Like, I think it really is as simple as a lot of times the only thing standing between something terrible happening and something good happening is one person like taking that first step. And, Schindler took that first step. He made a decision as one person to try to save lives. And he ended up doing that. He ended up doing something that has affected generations to this day. That's how much one person making a difference can do. To me, the movie really showed the absolute tragedy of being a bystander and how easy it is to let horrible events like that happen and even be caught up in that yourself, killing people, slaughtering them, if you don't take that moment to stand back and look at things and make a decision about what is morally right. Because like, let's say you're a German soldier and you're in one of the camps and everyone is treating the Jewish people like this, like everyone is being abusive, everyone is being cruel. I think it is easy. Like, people just went along with it. And that's terrifying. That really is a terrifying thought, that it could be as simple as that. And, as an audience member, as someone who is living in this current day and age in history, of course, we can look back on this and say, like, what a horrible, horrible crime against millions and millions of people to slaughter them. But I don't know. I think there is something captured in this movie that shows like how dangerously easy it is to slip into that, and how on the flip side, on a more hopeful side, how easy it is, like when you make that stand, you can cause almost like an avalanche of good if you do it. Like that's the critical thing. You have to make that stand like Schindler did. It was really scary seeing Ralph Fiennes' character because yes, he played this like one of the most horrible people I've ever seen on screen. And of course, it's even more terrifying because he was a real person. But the scene where he was talking to Helen and saying how lonely he was and like trying to connect her, and then how quickly he turned to lashing out and beating her was a horrifying scene. And I think it also, like, it felt even more horrifying because it seems so real. I don't know, just everything about the cruelty and the murder in this film, the slaughter, it didn't feel like we were watching, you know, a character from literature or a supervillain. It felt like, no, this is what human beings really look like when they treat other people this way. Yeah, I guess just what I like about this film the most is it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like a real life, and that made it so much more powerful in showing the goodness, like the true heroism that people had, and then also showing the horrifying, terrible things that people are also capable of. And it's baffling, I feel like, sitting here watching this movie to imagine that these type of atrocities happened, that human beings are capable of being that totally and thoroughly monstrous. But I don't know. It makes me want to like sit back and think of how that could happen. And you know, Oscar Schindler truly was a hero, and I think all of us would like to think that in similar circumstances we would do the same. But I don't know. I don't know. You can hope, and we can work towards that. But let me know what everyone else thinks. Like I said, I'd love to be a little bit more educated about some historical context. I do like how having a film like this, I think, is very important because, you know, we can read about events like this in history. You can read about, you know, over 6 million people killed on like a sentence in a history book. But when you see it in a movie and you experience the emotions and you watch the fear on people's faces as they're corralled into concentration camps, as they're slaughtered, as they're humiliated, as they're degraded, as they're forced to turn against one another, as, you know, women are forced, you know, the lucky ones are slaves to these horrible sadistic men who are torturing their own families, as children are running for their lives and getting brutally like pried apart from their families and slaughtered themselves. It's a very different thing. You know, it is something that will stick with you. This is definitely not a movie I'm going to forget anytime soon, and it is tough to watch. I will just say it was not an enjoyable experience, but I'm very glad that I watched it. But yeah, please, I'd love to know people's thoughts about the film. What this movie left me with a lot of things to think about. So if anyone else has kind of reflected on lessons or just lessons through history, something like that, and they would like to share, please feel free. Yeah, next week's reaction is going to be Jojo Rabbit. So that'll be coming out next week. Yeah, if anyone hasn't watched this movie and is maybe watching this a reaction along, I definitely do recommend that they take the time to watch this film. Like I said, it's not something that's obviously is not going to be fun, but it is very, very powerful and something that I'll be thinking about for quite some time. As always, remember, be active, be mindful, and be a hero.